Welcome to the A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal podcast, where each week I, Dr. Mal, share life lessons and motivation to kickstart your Monday. Whether you're starting your day or winding down, join me or me and my future guest for a burst of positivity and a fresh perspective. Let's make Mondays meaningful together. Greetings and happy Monday, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Mallory D. McCoy, and welcome to this week's episode of A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal. As always, may this broadcast bring you what you need in the present moment. May my light exude positivity and kindness, and may my love be extended to all who could use a little extra. Ashe. Let's seize the moment. Today's show is one of a series of shows titled Business Queens of Kansas City. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's Women's History Month, and for me, since I moved through life as a Black woman, it's important to me. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I just happen to have a few businesses up my sleeve, including Belle's Garden. The whole mission of Belle's Garden is centered around Black girls and women. I've literally made Black women my business and Black girls my business. Plus, this podcast primarily streams on the Alive Podcast Network, the first Black-owned, woman-owned podcast network in the nation. I also support Black-owned, women-owned businesses when I can. Y'all need to know I am super serious about supporting Black women entrepreneurs. So I am dedicating my March shows to highlighting Black-owned, women-owned businesses here in the Kansas City metro area. The women I've interviewed for this series are powerhouses and incredible business women. I can't wait for you to hear their inspirational stories and the knowledge that they dropped because it was real. So before we jump into the episode, you should know I love me a good definition, and I'm team #facts over feelings. So let's get into it. Today's show is about the fabulous world of Black hair salons because, this isn't just some small scale hustle for these women. This is a whole empire with a crown on top. Whoop, whoop. It's big business. The Black hair care and business industry generates billions of dollars every year. Yes, billions. From styling services to products like relaxers, natural hair products, weaves, lock care, and more. We're talking a massive market that continues to thrive and expand. Salons specializing in Black hair have historically been and continue to be owned by Black women. They're not just salon owners. They're also community leaders, mentors, and trendsetters, driving the powerful movement of entrepreneurship that's all about creativity and innovation. Have you seen some of these hairstyles? Because, whoa, baby, that's creativity and innovation at its finest. In many neighborhoods, the Black hair salon isn't just about getting a fresh style. It's a social gathering spot. Think laughter, life updates, and real talk about what's happening in the world. It's a space to build connection and get that confidence boost, one twist out at a time. Black salons have also long been the ground zero for new hair trends, whether it's braids, locks, silk presses, or protective styles. Stylists in these spaces are always coming up with fresh, jaw-dropping techniques. That level of expertise is unmatched because they're working with a wide range of textures and truly understand how to keep hair healthy. And with natural hair movements on the rise, pick me, and more attention on loving our hair just as it grows from our scalp, the demand for stylists skilled in natural and protective styling has soared. This is fueling even more opportunities for these salons to shine and for stylists to become educators, influencers, and big names in the beauty industry. So there you have it. The Black hair salon industry is nothing to sleep on. It's a booming business, a cultural cornerstone, and a place where new hairstyles, trends, and community vibes are born every single day. All guest podcasts are titled What They Want You to Know, and my intention is to dive deep into the minds of experts, thought leaders, and fascinating individuals to uncover the one thing they truly want you to know about their area of expertise. I intend to unapologetically and unequivocally center the voices of people from powerful groups targeted by oppression. However, if there are other community members who can interject on the topic, they'll be invited to the cookout too. For this episode, I interviewed Lenora Leathers, a master stylist, educator, beauty entrepreneur, and founder and president of Savvy Salon KC, a membership-based salon specializing in highly textured hair. With over 2 decades in the beauty industry, she has transitioned from master stylist to educator and system developer. A sought-after speaker, Lenora has earned accolades like Best Hair Salon in KC and Small Business Superstar. Beyond beauty, she supports community initiatives, including hosting back-to-school drives and organizations like Gift and Caring for Kids. Her vegan salon products are available at local Hy-Vee stores, and her salon holds MBE and WBE certifications. This is an abbreviated bio because when I tell you the resume is long, baby, this resume is long. To the world, she's a powerhouse, but to me, I am honored to be her sister-in-love and auntie to her babies. This whole conversation was incredible, and I can't wait for you to listen. So grab a notebook and get ready to take some notes because she is dropping those dimes. Here's what we talked about. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so happy that you agreed to be on the show because I've been trying to get you here, girl. But you are booked and busy, but I love it. I'm here for it all. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, I am Lenora Leathers, the CEO of Savvy Salon. We're a membership-based salon here in Kansas City.
I went and stalked you a little bit online.
Okay.
One of the fun facts that I already know about you is that you started doing hair at a very young age.
Yes.
13. So
Yes.
Take us back to 13-year-old Lenora and take us into her mind. What inspired you to even start doing hair?
It actually started with me wanting a mannequin for Christmas. And so my mom, she would always ask us to write down 10 things, that we wanted. And so I remember wanting a mannequin head. And I literally wrote that down like 10 times, like mannequin head, mannequin head, mannequin. So finally, and I actually have a picture, my mom bought me a mannequin head. And So when we were younger, me and my sister, my mom, I don't think she knows this, but we used to, she would hide the gifts upstairs in the attic. And I would take a razor blade and like cut a slit in the tape and open it up like, oh, I know what this is. But, of course, when we would open up our gifts, we would act like we didn't know. So I remember that year that she bought the mannequin, it was in this box. I did not know what it was. And so I remember getting that mannequin head and practicing on the doll, braiding her hair and doing all kind of things. And so my mom and dad, they really invested in me at the age of 13. And so I was at the time braiding hair. Of course, my mom was my first client. And so I remember walking across the street. We lived on 55th and Paseo, and we're walking across the street to Paul's liquor store. And this lady asked my mom, like, I love your hair. Who did your hair? And so my mom was like, my daughter, she did it. And I'm like, okay, I'll never forget this moment. I remember the girl, she used to come and get her hair braided, and I would do her hair every week. And so, with French braids, they're supposed to start right here on the hairline. But of course, they were starting way in the back. So every, week I would do her hair. My mom was like, get closer to the front of her hairline. And I'm like, I'm trying. And so anyway, I finally did.
Your parents were very supportive in your dream. I should say your manifestation, because you said, I wrote down, you were very clear about your life path. And so you wrote down what was going to happen, but you already knew that it was going to happen. And what's crazy, sis, is that I have the similar story. So my 9-year-old self wrote down that I was going to get a doctorate in educational administration. And I did do it.
Yes,
I was going to do it. Unlike you, though, my life path took me into education, but
I didn't know that I was ever even going to get a doctorate. I remember asking my teacher, because we did it at school. Right. And I said, what's the highest degree I can get education? Because that's what I want to do.
And you did
she
it.
told me,
Yeah.
a doctorate in educational administration. And I remember writing the cursive D on the paper.
Wow.
Like, that's literally, like, I can see it in my head.
That's
so the power of manifestation.
It's real.
Our paths were already ordained to do what we're doing. And Absolutely. So your path includes helping women and men, whoever, all the clientele, beautify themselves through hair.
Right. Yeah.
Through a creative outlet that is hair. So that's beautiful. Well, now you run this gigantic business that I'm sure when you said, I want a mannequin head, you didn't think that it would be what it is and what it will continue to be in the future. And so I want to ask, what is like one of the biggest lessons that you've learned about this journey and about even dreaming and about manifestation as you've moved through the path to be where you are?
You know, we said the lesson that I've learned through this journey, I've always been a journal writer. I love journal writing. I still do it now. Like, I love getting my thoughts out and dreaming big and, you know, putting stuff down that I'm like, it's so far-fetched. I'm like, but I'm going to put it down anyway. And so, you know, I think that sometimes we want whatever that thing is, like right now. Like, I want this right now. And I'm a big believer in God. And he's like, no, not yet, you know. And it's because you have to, you know, if he gives it to you, are you really ready for it? You know, do you have the capacity? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the people to help you to run or to get whatever the thing is, you know, that it may be? So in this journey, I definitely do not, I wouldn't take anything from it as far as like, would I change anything? Nope. Would I change the people that entered into my life? Nope. I believe that every person that entered into my life was for a reason. It was for a purpose. And I always look at it as if it was someone that was in my life for a season and they left. I'm like, well, what did I learn from that moment? And so just as I continue to journey through from being, you know, 13-year-old with clientele, like I had clients who were coming into my mom and dad's home and they had professional careers. You know, they were women that worked at the United States Postal Office, and it was women that actually worked at Children's Mercy. Those were my two biggest clientele. And so, you know, I just look back at like, man, I didn't realize that my mom was actually setting me up for how I actually run my business right now. Like, she bought me my first calendar and she would tell me, write their names down, write the time that they're coming, you know, write the amount down. And, you know, at the end of the week, okay, calculate the amount. Okay, how many hours did you work? Okay, then divide that divide that number with how many people did you do? You know, that's going to tell you how much you made per hour. And, you know, her telling me these things, I did not know that will, you know, help me to where I am right now. And so the journey, it's been necessary.
I love that. And because I know you personally and I'm in your life, I know that your mom is like an earthbound angel. She is very instrumental in path and journey and continues to help you to move through all parts of your life, not just the business part. So that's beautiful that you have her and other family members to help usher you into the space, God-given. And so tell us a little bit about Savvy Salon, because you did mention about membership based. So can you tell us a little bit about that model?
Yes. So of course we see clients throughout the week. And so we notice that, and then we see a lot of new clients as well. So we notice whenever new clients come in, no one comes in with perfect hair. You know, no one comes in with this voluptuous, you know, long hair. And so we notice that clients literally need a customized regimen in order to see growth in their hair, in order to see their hair actually flourish. And with the stylist, we noticed that, you know, we wanted to continue to build relationships with our clients, not just, hey, I'll see you,
in for one day, one service, and then, okay, I won't see you again until next year, and you can go around and chair hop. We're big on like valuing our clients, and we're big on actually helping them go through a healthy hair journey, because we notice that women wear several hats. And there's a lot of times that we don't get to sit down and actually go into a salon and get our hair done, so it's the least thing that we can do. And so we created this membership opportunity for clients to help them get them started on a healthy hair journey. So we have two different packages. This one, you can come in once a month or you can come in twice a month. And so that has really, really, really helped us to have clients and more so, I would say, like, customize exactly what their needs are. And so it's been beautiful. It's been really beautiful. So we went from having maybe one client to right now we're at, I think, 220 clients that are members right now. And we're looking to continue to expand that beyond where it is right now.
That is beautiful. And in the midst,
these are just members. So 220 members. This is not including everyone who is not a member.
Yeah. So even in that, so while transitioning to a member-based model, you also transition from being behind the chair to not being behind the chair at all. Mm-hmm. So what was that shift like? Literally taking your hands off the hair and focusing on the bigger picture.
Yeah. So that was a journey. We did the booth rental model. So of course, booth rental is where someone just rents out a space. And I didn't like it because I did not have any control over my business. I love the ladies that were there. It was not them. It was just if their clients came in and they were not there, then that looked bad on me. Or if they got into it with the client, if the client go writes a review, she's writing the review about my business, And so there was just them renting out a space. So I didn't have no control over it. Conversations wasn't tasteful. The music, I had to be careful with, I wanted to listen to this and they may wanted to listen to that. My name was on it all. That was my name on this building. They were more independent contractors. And so we switched that. I'm like, I don't like that. So we end up letting everyone go. And we went to what I would call a commission-based model. So that's where they would get paid hourly or commission. It was whichever was the highest. But what I noticed is as I was having like team meetings and team huddles and things like that, the girls could care less about being there because they were more so like, well, I would get paid more if I'm actually doing a client than in the room with you having a meeting for this amount that I would make hourly. And so that model didn't work. And so now where we are self-employed. This is like my proudest moment ever. We have been 1 year in, all in, and all of our team members are W-2 employees. We offer them benefits. We offer continued education, and we help them not just, I would say, like my team, I love my girls and I really, really care for them. So it's not just about, hey guys, y'all do the hair. All right, see you later. I'm like, hey, what's going on with you? Are you good? Personally in your life, what's going on? I'm like mentoring them and, correcting them when they're wrong, having hard conversations with them and, really developing them. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
That sounds incredible.
I still haven't got to your question.
No, it's okay. You're telling. Yeah. My question was, you have to talk about the process in order to be able to answer the question. So all of this is relevant.
Yeah. And so I was doing hair behind the chair, and I was literally training the team, taking care of my clients, answering the phones, texting clients. It was too many things I was doing at once, trying to be a mom. And I mentioned that I'm also a wife. So I was trying to juggle like all these balls. And I was like, oh, this is just too much. And my husband, I remember him saying, it's time for you to pull back. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, it's time for you to let go. Either which one you want to do. Either you want to, train these girls, or do you want to stay doing hair behind a chair and continue juggling balls. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. And so I remember, little by little kind of easing away. And then I got pregnant, and then it was just too much. It was, of course you have no energy when you're pregnant. And so that was the perfect time to literally like, okay, I'm done. I'm stepping away. And so I remember when I did it, clients were like, you doing what? Wait a minute. She's doing my hair? Like, wait a minute. What? And so I'm so grateful for those who are still clients to this day, my loyal clients, and who has stuck with me through all of these different transitions. They are the real MVPs and they know who they are. And since stepping away and literally taking my hands off of just doing hair, I'm able to now run this company the way that it should be ran, and literally, able to really lean in on what are the real, issues, what's going on, taking continued education and, reading books and really, really honing in on how to operate a successful business. Since doing so, it has been beautiful. And I will say that I remember there was a time and I had a mentor and I was like, man, I just feel like I don't get a chance to sit and talk to clients, or I was so used to a schedule as far as like clients being booked at this time, that time. So she was like, well, Lenora, now your schedule will change. Now you need to pencil out, okay, when are you going to do book work? When are you going to look at payroll? So now the scheduling is just totally different.
You're actually scheduling time to do the administrative things and your life.
Yeah.
I used to do this when I was in college and I got away from it, but I need to get back to it. I would, in my planner, I would write 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I would literally just write like a block, like I'm sleeping during this time.
Yeah.
Waking up, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I was able, and women like us who compartmentalize and can do chunk, that is so helpful.
Yeah.
Do that. I should do that more in the business part. But the business part, like you said, when you're self-employed, the business part is your life.
Yeah, it is.
It's a part of it. So you're not only, you're scheduling the business in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you have to.
Yeah.
And people think, it was funny because of course I've been talked about, that's normal. And so I remember someone telling me that someone said that, oh, she doesn't do anything. This is before we started the W-2 employees. It's not toxic like that now, but I'm like, y'all just don't know. My hat is full of things. It's just not just behind the chair doing hair, but it's so important, even as an entrepreneur, to literally pencil out the stuff that is boring, the stuff that you don't want to do. That is the stuff you need to be doing.
Yeah. And to your point, because I know that you have such a beautiful big heart. Sure that the criticism that you received initially was not easy to take. And so what work did you do to move yourself into a space where you had to block out all of that noise that wasn't beneficial for your growth?
Yeah. So I remember those moments. It was so dark. Oh, it was dark. It was so bad that I hated to go into my establishment. And you know how when you walk into a room and you can feel the energy, And so I remember walking into my establishment and speaking to customers that I brought in, that I spent marketing dollars on, to bring into these team members. And I remember speaking to these clients and they did not speak to me. I'm not kidding. They would not speak. And I'm like, oh, it's because you guys been talking about me. And I even remember just the team like getting together and having conversation about me. And oh, that energy was heavy. And I remember coming home crying, like in my car, crying, like, I signed up for this, like hiring people and sacrificing so many things. This is what I signed up for. Like, oh my goodness. So I had a mentor, a beautiful mentor of mine. She is a big boss. I don't want to mention her name, but I sent her a message like, hey, I need to talk to you like now. And she's just as busy. And so I remember her saying, hey, yeah, give me a call, later tonight. So I'm like, perfect. So I remember calling her and I told her, I was like, man, I don't even like walking into my establishment like I was crying, and it was really tough. And I remember her exact words were, okay, so she listened to everything, I had a chance to vent and everything. And so she said, okay, so who owns this shop? And I was like, well, I do. And she was like, do you? Or do they? And I'm like, oh. And she said, let me tell you something. She said, you never let anyone run your business. She said, if you need to fire, then you fire. She said, because I'm going to tell you, once you fire, there'll be someone else to hire that wants to be there. She said, but if they don't want to be there, she said, baby girl, you got to let them go. And she told me that, girl, the next morning I went into that salon, top of the morning, an hour or so before, packed up stuff and was like, hey, you got to go. And it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing. I had to let go of some people. In doing that, and it's never comfortable. Like that is not easy to go in and say, hey, I got to let you go, and you got to realize that it's going to be, it's a whole project, and so I had to let go of those bad apples that were spilling over into the good apples because they were starting to develop those same habits. And there were girls in there that were amazing. And I'm like, ooh, I got to let them go before they start picking up their energy or, matching or trying to be in the clique with them. But yeah, so it really took some time to, get connected with who I needed, which was my mentor. And then also talking to my husband, Ricky, and hearing his perspective on it. But I had to do the dirty work. I had to be the one to go in there and actually let go. And I'm so glad I did it when I did. And was it easy? Heck no. But how do I feel now? Grateful. I'm so, girl, I feel amazing. And now when I'm hiring, I take my time. I don't rush it. Everybody is amazingly perfect at the first 2 interviews.
Of course.
3-6 months in, it's like, no, wait a minute, what the heck happened? And so I am quick to say, hey, this is not going to work. And, let's move on. And so letting those people go is what helped to make 2024 our biggest year ever.
And let me tell you, and let me tell the audience too, because I have been in a season of letting go and not just
pruning.
Yes, we're pruning the garden, baby. You give me a good analogy. So we're pruning.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also have a big heart. I care a lot.
Yeah.
And it physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually hurts me.
Yeah.
To let patterns, people, energy, time wasters, all of these things go.
Yeah. You have to.
But God keeps saying, look, if you let this go, look at all of the stuff that is on the other side of the letting go.
Goodness.
All the things I have.
Yeah.
For you that are aligned with you and in store for you.
Yeah.
But you can't get to that because you hold on to what's making you comfortable.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that you have to remove is uncomfortable to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, since switching to this employee-based model, it definitely, even my spiritual leaders, my pastors, I have to give them a shout out too. Even having conversation with them, and they're like, she did what? Like, they're like, you're the sweetest person on earth. I'm like, well, they don't think so. Just even their perspective on it as well. And really helping me to navigate through those pruning season. Mallory, like you say, if you don't let those toxic people go, you will never get to where you're supposed to be. And I'm telling you, on that other side is so much peace. It's so much joy. I mean, it's just all things. It's sweeter.
So much love and joy and energy is calm. Like when you said about energy, I'm big on. I just released a podcast about energy. It's big, and you can feel how heavy people, because people carry energy, and it may have nothing to do with you, but it could literally be for you to learn a lesson.
Yes.
And how are you moved?
Yeah.
You see what energy they're carrying, and they're bringing it to you because you became the scapegoat, baby. This is your lesson.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to change the energy? So I know I keep learning this lesson, and I'm like, hey, I learned this lesson. Nope. Clearly I needed to hear from you too. Yep. So I do want to bring attention to, because this energy that we're moving into, moving forward, there's a lot of chaos in the worldwide level.
but there's a lot of love in community. So I do want to bring attention to, not only are you making women beautiful and people beautiful, I should say, but you're also involved in the community. Can you tell us some of the ways that you are at Savvy Salon KC, your family, everybody's giving back to the community?
Yeah, so we do a annual backpack drive, school drive for our littles. And what we do is we offer them free hair services. So a chance to come into the salon and get their hair done for free. So not, we don't tell them, okay, make sure your hair is shampooed and conditioned before you come. We're saying, no, come in and experience what it feels like to actually get your hair done. So that's, shampooing, conditioning, and offering a style, a backpack, of course, as well as my dad. He's a chef, he's a cooker, and so he's on the grill. Yep. You've had his food. Yeah. And so he's on the grill, and so they're offering them free food. We've had a DJ come out with music, and the girls, they're involved, and they, get out and play with the girls if they're not doing their hair. And so just giving back to and I know there's several backpack drives, but, to me, it's like, well, there's several kids in Kansas City who may need their hair done. And so we're just a part of that. And so also we have our own vegan hairline, natural products, and we now have our products. It's a kit actually. And so it's a kit that is available to cancer patients or patients that are at Kansas University Hospital, KU, and we've started out in their dialysis area and some other departments. Inside of these kits is everything they need for highly textured hair. So that's shampoo, that's our conditioner, that's our leave-in product, a comb, a brush, a pick, a hair tie, a clip. We have that partnership with them that launched actually last year, the end of last year. Just the response that we have gotten from that has been amazing. We even had a lady, as soon as we launched that and, told the world, she sent the message and said, hey, I'm a cancer patient at KU. Can I get a kit? And they actually mailed it to her. And so there was also a male client who he had locks and he ended up cutting his locks off, but he wanted a kit as well. So we provided him with a kit. And so just the impact that we are having in that space is it's unreal. It's unreal because our name is literally in a space that I didn't write down. I didn't write that one down. God did that. I did not write that down. And just this beautiful woman came to our salon looking for me, and we made that partnership, and so it's just been beautiful. Now, we've also helped in Hickman Middle School District. We were a part of a community called Caring for Kids, and we had the chance to host their attendance party, and so brought up a DJ out, and food, had popcorn and snacks and things like that for those kids who had perfect attendance or had a certain percentage of attendance. And so whenever I'm doing events like that, I get a chance to actually take my girls with me and we get out and do that. Being a part of Critique, there's a fashion show actually I will be hosting this year. I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be hosting this fashion show this year, and it's Black-owned businesses who are designers and actually broadcasting, showing the world their work. And so super, super excited about that. I think this is our third year that we've been doing hair for like over 100. It's about 100 or so models.
Well, gift.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. Yes, Kansas City Gift. So those of you who don't know about Kansas City Gift, you need to go to the website now. And so they offer grant funding to those small businesses in Kansas City. And so we give an amount per month to help small businesses. And they have given grants to my sister. She won a $50,000 grant. I think she got another $25,000. So she's up to 75 or probably even more than that. And there's some other people in Kansas City who has received gift grants from that organization. And so just a little small stamp of just being a part of that it's just beautiful. It's like, oh, I help. I put a little, I help with that. Yeah.
And Lenora, not only do you give to the community, but because your brand is such a pillar in the community, you have been recognized by the community. So would you talk a little bit about the recognition that you've received and what that means to you?
Yeah, so we have been, of course, nominated for Kansas City Chamber Superstar, and also we were nominated for Best Hair Salon with the Kansas City People Choice Awards, and even runner-up for the Pitch for Best Hair Salon with the Pitch. And so, when I think about those moments, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling just to know that someone sees what I'm doing, or what, and it's a partnership. So me and my husband, even though he's not, I'll have to tell you about his business, but it's really my doing right now. But just to see that, like, oh wow, people are recognizing what we're doing. And I'm big on, I'm not doing this on my own. I'm doing it with my team. And so I'm like, team, look at us. Look at what we're doing. And it's just a beautiful thing. And also I wanted to mention that we did some Mother Day giveaways where we have done a full complete makeover to moms, to deserving moms. And that was from hair to the actual wardrobe, makeup, and offered a gift card for them to go out to eat, go to dinner and feel beautiful about themselves. And I enjoy it. I really don't really look for a pat on the back or, oh my God, congratulations. It's more so like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, and you have a heart for it too.
Yeah.
You are very giving, not only professionally but personally.
Yeah.
In particular, I've been a beneficiary of the giving energy that you bring, and so it's beautiful to have you here and have you,
Thank you.
express, like, this is what's happening, but I'm human too. So
Yeah.
I'm also dealing with being human plus doing all these things.
Absolutely.
And I love that you also said that you don't do these things by yourself. One thing I admire about you is that the people that are around you are long-standing and they support you tremendously. You got some heavy hitters that are always in support of Lenora. Journey. So that's really cool. Okay, I do have a question that I ask all of my guests, actually 2 questions. So the first question is, what do you want us to know about you or what you talked about today? Like when I watched this episode or when I listened to this episode, what's the one very thing that I need to take away?
A takeaway would be never settle for less. Never settle just to be average. Never settle just to be amongst everyone else in the crowd. So I love this season that I'm in. I am loving it. And it's no one can do anything to change it. I don't care. No one can do anything to change it. And I have found my rhythm since after having my 1-year-old son. I had him without any epidural, no medicine. And so yeah, hey. And so I literally remember, kind of being like, oh, here we go again, having a baby and the whole mental health thing and like trying to find my rhythm, find myself, lose weight, all of those things. And last year, I really, really worked on myself. I took Fridays off as my off day. That means if I want to work, I can, but I don't. If I want to take a call, a meeting or something, I can, but 9 times out of 10, I won't. And I will go out and buy myself something. It can be lipstick. It could be a pair of earrings. It could be a new fragrance because I love to smell good. I'm actually smelling good right now, even though I'm at home. I just got some fragrance last week. But yeah, Fridays are my day. I do whatever I want to do. I will turn my phone off. I won't text you back. I may not even answer your call because I'm literally in tune with myself. When I work, I give it everything I got. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, but I'm giving it everything that I have. And so the least that I can do is make sure that I'm giving myself that love so that way my cup is full and ready for, to handle. Because I have a team of women. There is 10 women. And I have to make sure that I'm ready to go and prepare for them for all the things that they may want to share with me. And so I say all that to say, find a moment to find your rhythm. As a woman, you have to find your rhythm. You have to find something that works for you. And I just have to say that right now I'm in that space where I have found my rhythm, and I'm like, I don't want to let it go because I had to do the work for myself to be in the space that I am in right now.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, here's my other thing that I always ask my guests. It's a prompt. I used to think, but now I know. What did you used to think, but now you know?
I used to think that I was inadequate, but now I know that I am not. I am not what those thoughts were. I love being transparent. It's just how I continue to grow. I did not go off to college. I did not go off to school. I didn't go to business school or anything like that. And I tried it. I did try it though. And I remember being at Longview Community College, and I hated it. And it was because I was juggling. I had my oldest at 18, right out of high school. And I went to Harris School, and then there was a time when a lot of things, the world, changed. And so I'm like, well, let me go back to school. But then my business started picking up again. So I was trying to, do it all. And so I remember sitting in the room with this counselor, and at the time too, I thought like, okay, running this business things, I need more education. I need to go back to college. I have to do this in order to run this business. And so I remember going into his office to sign up for more classes. And so he said, tell me this, what do you really want to do? And I said, well, I would love to open up a salon. And he was like, okay. And he told me, he was like, so do you enjoy, being here on campus? And I was like, no, I really don't like it. And he was like, well, why don't you leave out of here and go do what you need to do and go open up this salon? And I was like, what? I can't believe this counselor just told me that. It wasn't nothing but God. Because I believe right after that conversation, it may have been a week or two, I got a call from a friend, and she said, hey, there's a salon that is in Mission, Kansas. And she's like, you may want to take a look at it. It was someone else's salon establishment, and they're cutting an amazing deal for you. You need to go check it out. So I got in the car with Ricky, and we went to go see the space. And I was like, what? This is beautiful. Like, it was fully furnished, completely furnished. It was 2 buildings. Completely furnished. And I remember when we left, the guy was like, hey, you guys need to let me know soon because there's somebody else that's coming in. So I'll never forget, we went to Quick Trip, and I'm like, babe, what are we going to do? He's like, we're just going to start praying. So I start praying. I was like, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, like, give me some type of sign, like, let me know. And so the man called immediately after my prayer and was like, hey, I'm offering even lower than what I told you. And I was like, let's do it. And we were in that building for 10 years. And I was in there for probably about 3 years by myself in this 4-station salon, 2-building salon and space. And it was thriving. That thing was busy. And so I say all that to say that my little small thinking of like, I have to go to college in order to run this business. It was like, God, it's like, baby girl, I'm going to make you equipped to do all things. And you are equipped to do it all. And so I am so grateful that I did not stay in that space and let my head tell me thoughts that were not true. And now I'm looking at myself like, girl, look at you. And so now I know that I am capable of all things. The title or the degree or nothing did not stop me from all the opportunities that that I have right now. And even knowing that I am claiming this, that I will be the first Black-owned Black chain salon in the United States. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
Okay, y'all heard it here today on Monday with Dr. Mal.
Yep.
She will
be
the first Black-owned chain salon
U.S.
United States. Let's talk about it. Listen, I know that I certainly was able to not only receive what you were saying, but just even change my thought process just from speaking with you today. And what a gift. Thank you. I know because it was a gift to me that it's going to be a gift to anybody that's listening. So before we get out of here, where can we find you online? How can my audience get connected with you? If they want to use your services, if they have any questions, if they want a kit for their hair, where's all that information at?
Yes. So We do offer first-time clients a free deep conditioning treatment or steam trim and a free in-trim. You guys can find those free services for first-timers at SavvySalonKC.com. Of course, I am on all platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Lenora Leathers, LENORA LEATHERS. Email me, Lenora at SavvySalonKC.com. But yeah, that's it.
She is a business queen of Kansas City. So all you got to do is type in Lenora Leathers and a whole Google search comes up. She is a Google search baby. Don't miss out. Well, that's all for this week. I'm honored that you tune in and that you continue to tune in. A special thanks to Lenora, who was willing to share her experience on a public platform such as this. I am humbled that she chose to spend time with me. Next week, I'm continuing my Business Queens of KC series with another business queen. We are leaving the Black hair care business world and we are entering the world of fashion with Stephanie McIntosh, the visionary behind the brand Yet Lux. You don't want to miss it. Until then, love and peace to all of you. Have the best week.
Thank you for tuning in for a Monday Moment with Dr. Mal, now proudly a part of the Alive Podcast Network. You can find this show on the Live Podcast Network website and app, and you can find this podcast streaming across your favorite podcast streaming platforms. If you love to have the visual, you can tune into my YouTube channel, When Mallory Lives, to see this show and catch up on all my shows from the beginning.